saying this can go. I'm not able to understand. People are still selling the copper vessels. That days are gone. We cannot, now the toxicity is already high. It's this much, and you add little more Sona Chandi, Chyawanprash, you are gone. Your kidneys will hit back. You need to be careful when we are using all these products as such. Why these heavy metals are toxic? I was telling you, this is goes in place of magnesium and all that, and it tries to bind the sulfidyl groups of any enzyme. I'll give a simplest example. All of us have read about biochemistry, insulin molecule. Insulin molecule is a two bipeptide. One is long arm, one is short arm. These two are connected by a sulfidyl bridge. And with mercury or cadmium, it gets sulfidyl bridge goes for a toss. The same thing is happening with the glutathione. Glutathione, all of us make glutathione. Glutathione has got, there is a thing called reduced glutathione, there is a thing called oxidized glutathione. Glutathione, two molecules, SH will bind like this because of the heavy metals and all that. And this glutathione will be redundant, it will be useless as such. So it is the heavy metals which are making this glutathione gone. We try to understand somebody having a good kind of person. I used to see my teacher, he used to smoke, he used to drink as such with a high level thing, but he used to maintain. The next day he comes for the surgery and he was active throughout. We never used to understand how this man can go like that. It was because his glutathione levels were quite high. Now, all this generation, I can always talk about coming generation also, we are all toxic. Our body glutathione is not properly formed. The more the glutathione, the more buffers you have, you can handle all these things. Now, with this kind of indiscriminate things, we are absolutely lacking. And over and above, we have high levels of heavy metals, which is causing a problem. Not just metals. I can always talk on the plastic. I can talk about 1 hour, particularly for bisphenols and phthalates and all that. Whatever shampoos you are using, shampoos contains a lot of phthalates. And I can always, 10 years back, I never met Ramdev Baba, but I can always, I was talking for the last 10 years. Because this is one thing which is we are getting into. Your PCODs, try to ask them what they are using. They are using only Pantene. They use only this kind of things. They are using a lot of deo sprays. You check with your kids what they are doing, and it's no wonder they get a PCOD. PCOD is a big spectrum. It's an oxidative stress. We try to work with lead toxicity as well as this phthalates and bisphenols. I can always go on about this particular stuff, but I just wanted to, this particular heavy metals are stored. Where are these heavy metals stored? This is just a concept I would like to give you. Heavy metals, they get stored in the intracellular membranes, cell walls, as well as the mitochondria. And from where they start getting into some things. We check out all these things. As a metal toxicologist, we are doing some kind of studies. We are trying to take out, we do check them in the hair, nails. We are doing some kind of challenge. We are removing from the urine, and while passing out in the urine, we are checking the heavy metals. I will be gladly associated with if any of the PG or anyone tries to do a heavy metal association PCOD on infertility and breast cancer. You can take up any kind of challenge, give us a 10 cases or something like that, and we can work on that. Through that, it has got heavy metal toxicity. This is how we are working with the hair minerals, and we are working with the chelation challenge. Chelation challenge is one of the easiest thing to do. What happens is that when we look into the blood, we don't get any heavy metals. Because these heavy metals are being stored as such. They go into the adrenal cortex. They are fats. They love fat. They go into the places, liver, they go into the brain, they go into the cortex, ovaries. And this is the one thing. So then when we do a chelation challenge, everything comes out. And that is a therapeutic challenge. And the moment we do, I used to remember there used to be something like curettage, diagnostic curettage, and it's a therapeutic thing. For us, this chelation challenge is diagnostic and therapeutic. You remove that things, and I have scores of patients, diabetic patients, having not black legs, they used to have the paresthesia and numbness. The moment we do a chelation challenge, they're all paresthesia are gone. In fact, all that black spots, they go off. It's only and only because of arsenic. The moment you remove that, things are better. And some of my patients, diabetic patients, they are off insulin. They don't use anything now. They are doing kind of stuff. It's all possible because of this heavy metal testing. And last another 5 minutes I'll take, doctor. I can always tell you this is the benign and malignant. We used to understand. I had very good teachers. Dr. Mahalakshman Rao. There's so many things I can relate. Dr. Adilakshmi, she was, and Dr. Mahalakshmi Madam, she was the HOD here as such. We were trained under them as such. Benign tumor and malignant tumor, they gave such a good description. Now I somehow relate with that, and I can tell you, we can keep the tumors into benign mode. We can keep that switch off mode. That can be really possible. You don't have to worry about the malignant, any lump or bump as such. And if we can, by doing this sort of things, by doing a good diet, by doing a detoxification, trying to reduce the lead levels and all that, trying to see that they don't consume some things, and you can always keep all these cancers at bay also. We are still not able to understand why cancer patient is being given sugar. Sugar is one thing which really is one biggest cause. Cancer cell grows in an anaerobic phase. They lack oxygen, they get a lot of glucose, and they work with the facultative anaerobic glycolysis. And it is, if we can cut down that source of glucose, increase the oxygen, and we can make the malignant tumor into a benign tumor. This is how we can work it out. And even animals in the lab with cancer, and you feed them with sugar, this rise younger. Coenzyme Q10 is one thing which we are working with that, and I can always tell you there were a lot of studies of this coenzyme Q10. People on coenzyme Q10 has done phenomenally well with cancer. With cancer, my protocol is I am not dealing directly as cancer. I am telling them it is a heavy metal toxicity. I am treating this heavy metal toxicity, and once I treat this heavy metal toxicity, their tumors are disappearing. We have case studies with that. We are not directly telling we are treating the cancer as such. There are common chemicals which are linked to, we have discussed about all these phthalates and flame retardants. We're talking about formaldehyde. I was talking to the doctor before about the wooden work, what we do when we move into a new house. Lot of stuff, formaldehyde, and all these glues and all that. There are so many things which are, and I was talking to about the innocent housewife. She tries to keep the house very clean, thinking that it's a good thing as such. I'm not telling that not to keep it clean, but what cost? She is using all the things that phenyl, Lysol, and the latest kind of stuffs which are really bad. They are trying to keep the cockroach free. I can tell you, cockroach is an omnivore. It can go anywhere as such, but you are not omnivore. You hit the cockroach, it doesn't cause anything to the cockroach, it goes back to us. I'll tell you, doctors, there was a thing called pesticide pest control. This is the biggest problem which is occurring now. I am staying in a flat. I know all my people have gone for the pest control. Then I said to my wife, no, I'm not going to do that. Then she was insisting on that. Then I said, chalo bhai, we'll go to Tirupati or something. I'll come back after a week. But I'm very sure, even if you lock your home after a pest control and you go out, once you come back, This pest control, there is a constant outgassing of that particular things which will happen for next 2-3 years. The whitewash, what we thought is the best whitewash we are doing, all these paints, they contain lead and mercury. So we have to be careful about all this stuff. I'll just take a few words, one more thing about the xenoestrogen component. I know you people you know about what is xenoestrogen and all that. All soyas and all that. Soya, in one particular thing, all the processed soya is really bad. Whatever soya coming to the market, it is by GMO food actually. It's classified as GMO food and it's bad as such. I will not even like to take a soya nugget one also. Forget about soya milk and all that. We need to be very careful about that. All the xenoestrogens, they are adding to the problem. I can always show you. Now we have to become vegan. You know what is vegan meaning? No milk products, no non-veg and all that. The milk products are the biggest thing as such. This is what you are there in the net also. I'll try to finish off with two important things which I feel is very, very important. The people working with the software industry. There was a study done by, there is a thing called light at night hypothesis. Light, LAN hypothesis. LAN hypothesis, what it says was, when we work in this kind of artificial lights at night, our melatonin levels, which is secreted by the pineal gland, drops. And doctors, almost all people having breast cancer or any kind of cancer, they have very low levels of melatonin. One of the biggest cause. I was with Dr. Markula in June in Colorado, and he presented me a pair of glasses which cuts the blue light. He says, Praveen, you wear this particular thing before, after 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the night, you wear this and this blue light will cut off and your melatonin synthesis will be normal, it will not be altered. We are seeing a laptop, your melatonin is gone. I can always tell about simple things. Now we don't use our watch. I'm wearing a Fitbit, I'm scared to use in the night. It gives such a big glow as such. And I know all of us are using cell phones to see the light, what is the time. Please switch off your cell phones. Don't use that in the night. Even if it is not working, it is giving you radiation. One thing is I told you about the respect the day and light phenomena. This study was done, LAN phenomena was done. It was done with nurses, was done in airline crews people, as well as software people. And it was shown that all of them have got low melatonin and they land into problems very fast. Somebody doing this job of in the software industry, night shifts for 3 years, health will be a wreck, I can guarantee you. The second thing I am concerned about, which I want to open up with you people, is the consumption of plastic water bottle. Water as such, we have our heavy metals, and again we have got bisphenols into that. The third one is milk. Milk packets, jersey packet. I'm not singling out jersey, I'm talking about everyone as such. Thing is, all these people, they want to see that how can a 3 liter, a buffalo can give a 3 liter or 4 liters, what I have seen in my when I was a kid. Now, how can it can give 30 or 40 liters? It is impossible. You need to give that bovine growth hormone injection into that buffalo. Then only it gets. The moment you give the recombinant bovine growth hormone, studies are there. Your IGF level once goes up, and once you consume that milk, your IGF goes up. The more your IGF, you are putting a vacant board situation vacant, anything can enter you. Try to keep your IGF low. The other, what you can always do, you want to, students, you tell me, which is the best vitamin which can prevent cancer? Best vitamin. First, let us be interactive. It is the vitamin D. You keep your vitamins D at levels of 50 or 70, you are not going to get into cancer. It's a kind of insurance. So I told about milk, I told about the other one was night shift and all that. One thing I'm just missing out, which I thought, yeah. Have you go to your kitchens? I'm sure you people are hardworking and you go into kitchens. What are the cooking oil you use? Cooking oil. Sunflower, refined sunflower, okay, grounded, refined, okay, right. Whatever you get on this one answer. I tell you a simple thing. All this refined oils business, they have created a cancer therapy. Try to go for, yes doctor, try to Google it, you will understand. Try to use something like cold pressed oil. Cold pressed oil. What happens with the refinement of oils is you tend to heat the oil to very high degrees, and that high degrees, all your cis fat converts into trans fat, and this trans fat they get embellished into the cell walls. And once the cell wall has got trans fat, there is no exchange of oxygen and all that proper. One of the biggest contributor is vegetable oil, which comes with the ads. People give a sunflower ad, it's good for a heart and all that. It's all nonsense. What your grandmother told about ghee was really good. These are the few things which we feel that observations has to be made. We are trying to get into places and trying to talk about this concept. I'm sure while going, I'll give you an example of one particular thing. Have you heard about a doctor called Simovich? Agas Simovich. Agas Simovich was a gynecologist. Okay, it is a long story back. Just listen for 2 minutes. He was posted in a hospital. He goes into a hospital and he was a big man. I have his photograph also. Himalovich is, and he had 2 units. He was a doctor who said, wash your hands properly, then we are not going to get. Doctors are the causes of mortality. So what happened in that particular time is, there was Unit 1 and Unit 2. He was the in charge. In Unit 1 there used to be high mortality. In Unit 2 there was no mortality. Less mortality. People like to, this has happened, it's a fact. People like to, for deliveries used to go for Unit 2. They never used to go for Unit 1. And Unit 1 was monitored by the, I'm talking, something was, this is about 200 years or 150 years back. And that time, medicos and doctors, they were doing multiple works. It is not that. They used to go to the mortality, they used to do a postmortem, and they used to come there as such. So it was this Dr. Agas, he observed one thing. The people, this is the thing, and his close friend, he had some problem and he died. He died of the woman used to die with tubercle sepsis. Now we know it was a bacterial infection. That time everyone was thinking that it is some ghost or something like that. So his friend died with that particular thing. This friend, he started looking into what happened with this guy, and he found out there was a scalpel which was used scalpel was used for this particular thing, and he got a cut and he later succumbed to tubercle sepsis. Then he started conceptualizing about things and all that. I am trying to put across, it's a observation, and this man was totally when he said, you doctors are not washing properly, and he was thrown out of the hospital that time. It happened was, all this in the Unit 1 people used to go attend the postmortem duties. They used to come with the cadavers, and immediately call used to be there for a delivery. They used to come down and they used to do a delivery, and that caused the tubercle sepsis. And there are some I was sharing with the doctor before about a case of how things are getting into a problem as such. And if the simple things, very simple thing, we are trying to keep our skin very clean, we are not keeping our internal organs clean as such. So if we can keep this particular thing, we will not land into so many real problems as such. And I can always tell you this generation, another 10-15 years later, it is going to happen in the same thing what happened with the diabetes before. When we completed our medicine, we used to think that okay, it is there, we'll go. I used to tell my uncle, no, you go to Dr. Sai or Dr. Sethi. Now everyone is treating diabetes. Another 10 years, doctors, you will also start treating cancers because there is such a big demand. You only oncologists are not going to. So unless you look for these small observations, try to work on things as such properly. And if you give this particular message to your patients, and they will definitely will not land into this kind of anything. This is a big kind of thing. I spoke in boxing last 2 years back. I was talking about infertility and this one. And all chemicals and all that, we somehow believe that this is one of the big things. I just fastly I'll show you what I am trying to work on that. This is called dioxins. Dioxins are the major causes of endometriosis. I work with even Dr. Vijay has presented a paper on this one, the endometriosis and dioxins. And we work with some thing, hyperbaric oxygen and ozone therapy in endometriosis, and things are getting better. There is a thing called PCB. PCB is not Pollution Control Board. It is a kind of polychlorinated biphenyls, and which we are day in and day out we are getting into that. And I just wanted to show you that particular thing, which is what is the cause of. I was asked in Bangalore or someplace from a school, college or some thing as such, why leiomyomas, which is fibroids, are increasing. As doctors, I could not answer my dad who asked me why I am suffering from heart problem, why there is atherosclerosis. And I used to tell, no, we are basically, we have that kind of, we take a lot of ghee, this particular ghee and all that. But it was not convincing to my dad because he gave me the example of my grandfather. He was a very perfect man at the age of 87. He had a good teeth also. He never had got into any hypertension and all that. So this new generation is going to ask you why there is an increased incidence of fibroids. I can always tell you, doctor, this will keep going on, but unless we change our practices, unless I am talking about the people, consumers, if they start changing their practices, they start understanding what is POPs, what is this shaving creams, sunscreens and foundations and all this nonsense, things can't be moved out. In fact, I have some papers as such. This is what I just wanted to show you. This is leiomyomas, women with higher levels of urinary MEHP. MEHP is one of the kind of persistent organic pollutants which we call, which is giving rise to high levels of fibroids and all that. There can be a lot of this one kind of thing. Even whatever your sanitary napkins you are using has got that kind of product in that. We need to be careful about that. We need to understand. So, yeah, I'm giving a kind of this one. This was, I think I'm done with that. Still, last question. How many of you use cookers, pressure cookers? All of you use aluminum pressure cooker? Throw it off. Aluminium is one of the worst fellow. It can cause problems, and we have to look into that. That's my favorite question. I keep asking something else also. What is the non-stick ware? If somebody gives you non-stick ware free, are you going to buy it? It has got PFAO, doctors. You take that, you are hitting your thyroid very badly. So many. See, things come with buy one get one free offers.
So what about the vessels?
Vessels, we feel stainless steel is good, ma'am. Not in Indian quality. Indian quality is actually on the other side because Indian quality stainless steel has got a lot of nickel in that. But stainless steel is the same. But iron, best one. Iron, black iron is the best particular thing. Or if you can go for products like this earthen vessels, it's fantastic.
Is copper vessels used?
Copper vessels, I will not advise you in this scenario. Everyone has got a high levels of copper. We don't need copper at all. Copper vessels is like, I can always, people are getting into neuro problems with that particular stuff.
Nowadays they are getting earthenware.
Earthenware is really good. Earthenware is really good. Mukesh Ambani has all earthenware pots here. Yes, ma'am. Try to see that you don't carry the water bottles and all that kind of stuff. So many things as such. I'm really happy. I thought there was not much attendance, but it gives me a good this one. We are talking about so many things, car exhaust and so many things, because it's a very complex thing. Breast cancer, causes of cancer are very multifactorial. Somehow I feel that we have got good genes. Stop blaming. I keep telling youngsters, stop blaming our seniors because you got a good kind of genes and all that. And if you can always do a small certain things, you can live a good king size life. Thank you, doctors. Thank you. Any questions? I think I'm really surprised you people didn't have your lunch also, I was told. Anything questions? Preventions. Which one? Okay. How to prevent a cancer? Stay in the sunlight.
So instead of going for a mammography and whatever you have said,
Thermoscan.
can we directly go for that?
Absolutely yes, ma'am. That's why we are just trying to work it out. It's not against X-ray mammography. X-ray mammography.
Sometimes it's always specific.
Postmenopausal. If you have a postmenopausal lady, go for X-ray mammography. It picks you up properly.
It's costing something.
Around 800 rupees, ma'am. 800 or 1200, something like that. No, this thermoscan, we were the first pioneers here. No one has got. Dr. Praveen is my senior man. He is doing. Okay. He was about to get it. Somehow he couldn't manage it.